Here's a little secret about how we, one of the ways we wear test product at 110. So as well as lab testing of fabrics, materials and of people, but the best thing is to get out and use stuff, see how it wears, see how it performs. And obviously do that very intelligently. You've got to know what you're trying to do, what you're not trying to do, what you're looking for, and also, you know, what your expectation is, what you realistically expect, decide what you would also dream for. And a great thing to do is to try and push the limits of products. Now, that means, you know, sometimes going out with too many layers on, sometimes too little, just trying to push the boundaries, see how things perform when you're going to really sweat hard or it's a lot wetter or colder. It can be very interesting and very, very useful and really inform what we do. But it can also backfire, because 2 weeks ago I rode about 140k in total, mostly in the pouring rain, having gone out thinking go a little bit lighter, wear some prototypes. It just turned into one of those days. It was down to about 2 degrees, very windy, UK day, and also became very, very wet, and actually almost snowing at points, so great to test. But I've spent the next 10 days with terrible cold, so just coming back. And today another example where it's getting warmer and warmer. Left early this morning, about 20 minutes after it got light, so chilly, but it's just getting hotter and hotter. You know, we're really into spring days coming. So this is really interesting to try and push things like, this is a new rain wind vest prototype, now with stretch panels. Very happy with that. You'll notice, although it's open, it's slightly loose, and the reason for that is that we've sized it to fit over your winter product a number of layers, and I'm wearing it just over a base layer and a Primavera jersey just now. But really good to test how breathable the fabric is, what it's like when you're sweating hard. I've had 2 hours with it completely zipped up. Open it, hardly even damp on this inner protective scrim. Really impressive, it's actually nothing. Primavera too, so say it's getting pretty hot, I'm sweating a lot. It's really interesting to see how the fabrics feel, how they perform when you're overloading it. So this can be both very hard efforts, making some people having to go a bit harder than you thought, or up a fire road climb, or some single track that gets really tough, or hike a bike that you're in trees and the wind goes. But really, really interesting to push things and see how the base layer feels next to skin when you're really, really sweaty, and then how the other layers perform. So, strange form of real world testing, and like 2 weeks ago when I ended up with a cold from being out too wet and cold, can seem a little bit masochistic, but you can learn an awful lot about how far you can push the garments. And in the end, you know, 110's about real world garments. You know, the weather's not 12 degrees all the time, or a 15-mile-an-hour wind, or you know, it seems like there's days when people think you wear rainwear all day because it's raining all day. Well, you know, days you probably wouldn't go out, or beautiful sunshine. So I think it's really useful to see how the layers can perform, how we can push them in testing to make sure that when you come to wearing them, you know you can rely on them, you know you can really push them, and they'll really protect you, or keep you cooler, or keep you warmer, keep you healthy, keep you drier, for longer, and in a variety of conditions, which, you know, we can never completely anticipate, no matter how much we look at our weather widgets or look at the forecast of the weather radar. Things always change. Okay, cheers.